The future of Elite will be revealed very soon now, and later this week, Frontier's new format live streams will be revealing some of the new details about the game. But that is for later this week. Meanwhile, you guys know me by now, I enjoy a good bit of speculation when it comes to these things, and it always seems that you do as well. So, let's talk about the rumours, speculation, and recent events surrounding Elite and Frontier. What might this mean for the future of the game? Now, let's start with my previous thoughts on this. Back in September, I stated in a video that I suspected Elite would not have any major updates in 2024 beyond the update 18. My feeling was that the game would go into a prolonged period of silence with either no updates or some very small ones. Turns out that I seem to have been wrong about that, and I'm very glad that is looking to be the case. Whilst I've always been adamant that Frontier will keep the Elite servers on, I've been less sure what Frontier would do about, releasing updates. And I know a lot of you feel the same and have had the same doubts. With my videos, I always try and keep it real, I always try and keep it honest, and that means my opinions and speculation is always based on the information to hand at time. I won't be overly negative, and I won't be overly optimistic and enthusiastic. Basically, I believe in calling it as I see it, and that is always based on the information that I have available at the time. And I really think that you guys appreciate that approach with my videos. And yeah, generally that can mean that at times my opinion will change based on new information as it comes to light. So yeah, here we are, Frontier almost ready to talk about what is coming in 2024. And the question on my mind is whether this will simply be a reveal for Update 18 alongside some very vague statements about what comes after Update 18, or if perhaps Frontier are ready to start upping the ante and giving us a full detailed roadmap for the year. So I'm going to break this down into a bunch of sections, this video that is, and I'll put chapter markers for each section so you can easily navigate the video. And yeah, hopefully I actually remember to do that, but if I don't, do let me know in the comment section and I'll make sure to update the video. Also, keep in mind that all of this is pure speculation and it's based upon the information that we have to hand, along with the past behaviour of Frontier. That means I could certainly be wrong about all of this, but I think it's a fun and interesting subject nonetheless. The sections will move from what I feel is the most likely thing we're going to see towards the least likely. Meanwhile, here's a poll from my viewers about what they think the plans might focus on. So the most obvious place that Frontier will likely start, in my opinion at least, is with information on Update 18. We know that Update 18 is on the way. A former Frontier dev has stated that in their opinion, the content in Update 18 is one of the coolest things Frontier has ever worked on for Elite. It would be logical that Update 18 would be of the same scale as Updates 15, 16 and 17. That means a patch which generally focuses on the Thargoids. The previous updates generally focused on a single event or asset, be it the ongoing changes with the Thargoid War or the arrival of the Thargoid motherships, as well as of course the Thargoid spires. Now I'd be very surprised if Update 18 doesn't fall into that same category. So that's the first part of what I expect Frontier will announce. I'm almost certain of this. The second part I'm expecting to see, and again this is just my uneducated opinion, is that Frontier will give a brief mention about other content coming later in the year, but won't go into specifics. Maybe they'll refer to this as Update 19 and beyond. Now that moves us into the less likely section of this video. On the slightly less likely side, but still quite possible, Frontier might once again mention the key feature overhaul that they first discussed back in 2022, that they pegged for release in early 2023. It's possible that this might still go ahead, albeit very, very delayed. So if they do state that the key overhaul is now coming in 2024, would they go as far as showing what the key overhaul actually is? Well, possibly. But what would it be? Well, it seems to me that any overhaul that they want to work on, or should, would have the widest impact and the heaviest reach upon the game. That is, tweaking the smallest amount of things whilst having the broadest possible impact, and thereby affecting the wider range of players. So there's only a few areas of the game that pretty much could touch on absolutely everything if it was tweaked. This then could potentially be either a revised background simulator or maybe revised engineers. There's also an outside possibility that a key feature overhaul might look at power play, as that too could potentially be revised in a way to improve the overall game experience for all players. My thoughts here then are looking at the areas of the game that would improve things for the widest number of players without having to go into a massive overhaul of the entire game. So this one I see still has the possibility of a likely announcement, but I peg it a fair bit lower than the previous section of this video. Also, in the less likely category, but still very possible, I'd like to place the hope that 2024 might finally see a brand new ship. The last new ship arrived in 2018, so 6 years ago at this point, and that is absolutely ridiculous for a space game that is also a live service title. So whilst I'm not fully expecting a new ship to be announced, I still feel that it might remain within the realms of being possible. But also, whilst on this note of discussing brand new ships, what's your thoughts on the idea that Frontier could one day maybe introduce new ships in the same way Star Citizen do? That is, ships pay to play. You purchase the ship with real-world money. Is that something that you'd like to see if it actually meant getting brand new ships in the game, and that this funding would improve Elite Dangerous' development and mean it has an ongoing life and could keep expanding? Or do you think purchasable ships is something that Frontier should never touch? I'm very curious about this one because it really does seem to be an area where Frontier could make at least a little bit of money for the game. Now, moving on to the unlikely category. I'd place Frontier releasing a fully detailed roadmap along with the expansion and future-proofing of the game as a whole in this section. Whilst this wouldn't be a full rework or rewrite of the game, it would be extensive enough that it would touch upon a variety of different areas of Elite, so more than just a key feature overhaul. For example, future-proofing the game would mean overhauling not just one key feature, but multiple key features. This would be a reworked and improved background simulation, improved and rebalanced engineering, in addition to an expanded galaxy where players could visit previously locked off areas of the game, or maybe even the addition of new assets such as comets and accretion disks for black holes. Whilst this is a possibility then, I'd firmly place this one way out there. If Frontier do announce something like this, I'd be very surprised. But I'd say it's still within the remote realms of possibility. Now, moving on to the not going to happen category, I think most of us will likely be on the same page with everything here. This would be a full expansion for Elite Dangerous. In my opinion, this is simply not going to happen. For starters, Frontier have already announced their development plans for the next few years, and all the way up to 2027, maybe even into 2028 in fact. All of the games currently in development are going to be based on current franchises such as F1 Manager, or will otherwise be creative management games such as Planet Zoo, newly created ones as yet untitled. The bottom line here is that there is no way that Frontier will be announcing anything truly massive in the upcoming livestream. That rules out any atmospheric worlds, it rules out ship interiors, it also rules out base building. Now, whilst it's very clear that there will be no massive Odyssey-sized expansions for Elite over the next 3 to 4 years, at least again, that's my opinion, all of this is my opinion, but it's based on the information that we've seen in Frontier's financial reports. But I also feel that a complete rewrite or overhaul of Elite also isn't going to happen. Improvements will be incremental at best and touch upon specific areas of the game, rather than be a full-sized rewrite of the entire game. And no, I don't see Frontier announcing Elite Dangerous 2 or any other sequel to Elite either. Finally, another thing I'd like to place in this section of the video that it ain't going to happen is Frontier shutting down the Elite servers. Now, I've seen people speculating that Frontier are going to announce the game is closing, or saying that it's going into maintenance mode. That makes no logical sense whatsoever, because Frontier have already stated they're about to announce their plans for 2024. It would be a bit weird, even for Frontier, if those plans were to announce that they don't actually have any plans at all. For now then, the future of Elite remains a mystery. But that said, more information is coming very soon. It seems to me that if you have been happy with Elite Dangerous these past 2 years, then you will likely be very happy with what Frontier are about to announce for 2024. My feeling is that 2024 will very likely be more of what we've seen in 2023, but perhaps with a different non-Thargoid tone and non-Thargoid approach. I'm also quite hopeful that Frontier will be making a few other tweaks, changes or additions to the game. Whether that's improvements to the BGS, an expanded galaxy or something else, I really have no idea. Either way, do let me know what your thoughts and feelings are for all of this in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, why not check out the other videos on the screen right here. I'll catch you all soon.